so that they could take a break when they reached the flag. Lin was fascinated by the sight, but he knew little about farm work. He had left the village for high school in Wujia town at the age of 16. An ox cart emerged down the road, loaded high with millet sheaves and swaying as it rolled along. The lead animal was a mere heifer, slightly lame in her hind leg. Lin saw his daughter Hua and another girl on top of the load, both partly buried in the fluffy sheaves. The girls were singing and laughing. The driver, an old man in a blue serge cap, was holding a pipe between his teeth and flicking his short whip over the shaft bullock's hindquarters. The two iron-rimmed wheels were screeching rhythmically on the bumpy road. As the cart came to a stop at the front gate, Hua dropped a bulging burlap sack to the ground and jumped down. "Thanks, Uncle Yang," she called out to the driver. Waving at the plump girl atop the load, she cried, "See you this evening." Then she brushed bits of straw from her shirt and pants. Both the old man and the plump girl looked at Lin, smiling at him without a word. Lin vaguely remembered the driver, but couldn't tell what family the girl belonged to. He was aware that they didn't greet him the way the villagers would do one another. The man didn't shout, "How's your day, buddy?" And the girl didn't say, "How are you, Uncle?" Perhaps this was because he was wearing the army uniform, he thought. "What's in the sack?" he asked his daughter, getting up from the grinding stone. "Mulberry leaves," she said. "For the silkworms?" "Yes." Hua seemed reluctant to talk with him. She raised some silkworms in the shack behind their house, in 3 large wicker baskets. "Is it heavy?" he asked. "No." "Can I help?" Lin hoped she would say a few words to him before she went in. "No, I can carry it myself." With both hands, she swung the large sack over her shoulder. Her round eyes gazed at his face for a moment, then with a casual gait she walked away. He noticed that her forearms were sunburned, spotted with whitish, peeled skin. How tall and strong she was. Obviously a good farmhand. Again her gaze disturbed him. He was unsure whether her petulance had been caused by his attempt to divorce her mother. He felt that was unlikely because he had not yet broached the subject this year. He was unhappy that his daughter seemed somewhat estranged from him now. When she was a baby girl, she had been very attached to him, and they had often played together whenever he came home. As she grew older, she became more reticent and remote from him. Now she seldom said an unnecessary word to him, and at most she would give him a thin smile. Does she really hate me? He wondered. She's grown up already, and in a few years she'll have her own family, no need for an old man like me. In fact, Lin looked quite young for his age. He was in his late 40s, but he did not seem like a middle-aged man. Despite the uniform, he resembled an official more than an officer. His pale face was smooth and handsome, with a pair of black-rimmed glasses on his straight nose. By contrast, his wife, Shuyu, was a small, withered woman and looked much older than her age. Her thin arms and legs couldn't fill up her clothes, which were always baggy on her. In addition, she had bound feet, and sometimes wore black puttees. Her dark hair was coiled into a severe bun on the back of her head, giving her a rather gaunt face. Her mouth was sunken, though her dark eyes were not bad-looking, like a pair of tadpoles. In every way, the couple did not match. "Shuyu, can we talk about the divorce?" Lin asked his wife after dinner. Hua had just left to study with her friends, preparing herself for the entrance exams for a trade school in Harbin. "All right," his wife said calmly. "Can we go to town tomorrow?" "All right." "You always say all right, but you'll change your mind afterward. Can you keep your word this time?" She turned silent. They had never quarreled, and she would agree to anything he said. "Shuyu," he went on, "you know I need a home in the army. It's hard to live by myself there. I'm no longer a young man." She nodded without a word. "Will you say yes to the judge this time?" he asked. "All right." A hush fell in the room again. He resumed reading the county's newspaper, Country Constructs, while his fingertips silently drummed the tabletop. Shuyu was making a jacket for their daughter, cutting a piece of black corduroy with a pair of scissors and a stub of French chalk. 2 yellow moths were circling around the 25-watt bulb hanging from the papered ceiling.